All right, so I think we're live to the preview or the post show for the second episode of season 7 of Game of Thrones. We named it "Winter is Coming Down Your Throat."
So aptly titled.
Add a little humor to it. So we were both wrong last week about who was going to die, but people did die. I took a little bit of notes, so we're going to be a little bit more organized, as the one fan that actually gave us feedback said we needed to be a little bit more organized. So I figure we'll do just a quick breakdown, and then we're going to keep up with who we think is going to die next. We were both wrong last week, so we'll see if we get a little more accurate this week. So here we go. We open up with Varys, Dany, and the Imp planning to take the kingdoms peacefully rather than doing the Mad King style. What did you think about the opening scene?
I liked it, man. I tell you what I found interesting about that was Daenerys actually calling into question the spider. We've seen him fucking kind of pulling this shit throughout the whole time, and nobody's ever really called him on it. You know what I'm saying? And finally, Daenerys is kind of like, shit, my dude, you seem like you just suit yourself, quite frankly. But he did have a good rebuttal in that, like, it's for the people. Your fucking dad was crazy as shit. And when I do this shit, it is for, I guess what it comes down to is, who do you really believe? Do you believe that the spider is actually for the people? Or do you think he is actually just a sneaky, self-serving cunt?
I think just like Baelish, Varys is for himself. But I did like that moment where she's like, oh, and who tried to have me killed? And Tyrion and Varys and Tyrion are both like,
shit, we don't know.
That was some other asshole. That was Robb. That was King Robb. You can't ask King Robb because he's dead, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And then right away, I had no value until you found out about my dragons and this and that. But he played it off good, but that was a tense moment where it was either, it's kind of like, whatever you say right now will determine whether or not you make it out of this episode. I thought your horse was done.
I was thinking that we'll get to Littlefinger later, but I was like, fuck me, man. Both of our horses almost fucking been at the second fucking episode. We both had. What's funny is that's the first scene of the show. It opens up, and I'm watching it with my buddy Gary and shit. And I'm like, yeah, me and Aaron fucking were doing this podcast, and we picked horses not to die this season. And I'm like, mine's about to fucking get it right fucking now. The first fucking scene of episode 2. Thank God he's a silver-tongued prick, and he pulled his way out of that one.
Yeah, and then later on, I was like, "Oh, yeah. Don't say anything about Cat. Don't say anything."
He's trying to just keep going. It's like, fucking, you better watch it, Littlefinger.
Yeah, exactly. John's eyes twitching, and he keeps like, "Oh, and I loved your mother, and I love your sister." No, you gotta be kidding me.
What an idiot.
All right, so then we're introduced to Melisandre, the Red Witch, Lord of Light kind of stuff. All of a sudden, now that's getting intermingled with the Targaryen thing, which leads us back to Jon and Dany, the prince who is promised, who it turns out was corrected to the prince or princess who is promised. So it looks like that's what it's going to end up being, is the whole Targaryen thing. Whether it's Jon or whether it's Dany, it's going to end up being a Targaryen who ends up on the throne, I think.
I feel like that's too predictable, though. It does seem like that. It does seem like a match made in heaven, and this whole thing's going on. They're going to find out that they're half brother and sister, the whole most of it. I just feel like that seems too obvious. But we'll see. That seems like a really pleasant story, and like all the good guys win. I just feel like there's no fucking way the Game of Thrones lets it. If that does happen, there's going to be a major fucking speed bump. Somebody's losing a tit or a finger, a fucking hand, a tongue. Something's going down before that little triumphant.
Well, and right away, Dany made it no questions. He's coming here to bend the knee. We're not going to be like co-partners. If old Jon Snow comes down to see me, he's pledging his allegiance. That's why he's coming down.
Right. Exactly. Which will be very interesting. We'll see what happens.
Well, I don't know. Jon kind of does seem like he doesn't want much of it. I could see him acquiescing to that. So let's see. That brings us to, we ended up with a scene with Sir Davos, Sansa, and Jon getting the message from the Ravens for that. So what did you think about Sansa's reaction, Sir Davos, what he had to say, and the way that Jon has taken the invite? Because Sansa right away thinks it's a trap.
this is one of those weird situations. I can kind of see everybody's point, right? Like, I kind of see what Sansa's saying and all the rest of those pricks in the north. But then there's this underlying thing of the fucking, the White Walkers, right? And John brings that up at one point. He's like, listen, I've seen them. I've seen the army. I know y'all take my word for it, but none of you've actually seen them. And the goddamn reality is we need these fucking numbers. We do need the help. And listen, at the end of the day, it's fucking true. I see Santa's point, and then once it came full circle and he's like, look, bitch, I'm going to leave you in control. I was thinking the whole time, like, yeah, okay, so listen, he's going to go. I get why that might not be the greatest fucking idea in the world, but on the same token, bitch, you're here. You still got control. Although, of course, Littlefinger fucking, he just couldn't wait for the fucking, when the cat's away, the mice will play. You can see that little prick fucking ready to go to work. But I imagine at this point, Sansa's smart enough and got enough power, and she's at her home and shit, that she'll be able to fucking, not get bamboozled by anybody, and should be able to run the castle well while John's gone.
Yeah. You're talking about two different scenes. The earlier scene, they were just getting the letters, and then in the later scene, that's when John was actually deciding whether or not he was going to do it.
True.
Sansa thought it was a bad idea. John, of course, that's the one thing I like about the character development with Jon Snow, is that he is 100% done with the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. He gets it. I think he's one of the only characters right now that gets it 100%. It's the Night King. That's the only thing that matters. So he's not going there to kiss Dany Targaryen's ass. He's not there to take a piece of the Iron Throne. He's there to get Dragonglass, to get his people equipped, and to get ready for the Night King, because that's all that matters to him. Everyone else is like still strategizing the 7 kingdoms, Westerosi, all this kind of stuff. And he's like, no, have you seen these fuckers? They're coming. They got giants. We need Dragonglass. I don't give a shit. I've been dead once. I don't want to be dead again.
Now, so here's an interesting thing, though. Okay, so you're right. But how is Daenerys going to take this? Like, Daenerys has a whole different probably idea about receiving this cat. And when Jon Snow comes up and he's like, listen, all this shit's cute, the dragons and all, but the real fucking battle, like, she has no fucking inclination to believe him either. I suppose Tyrion can kind of back up his claims, but I feel like you're going to be at a real crossroads here where even Tyrion's probably not going to be like, okay, yeah, true, Jon Snow. Let's go fucking wait on the White Walkers to breach the wall. Like, I think they're I don't know. I think that I can see them wanting to form alliances, but you're right. Jon Snow's on some completely other shit, and he's going to be like, yeah, piss on that fucking stupid war between you guys. This is the big one.
Yeah, I can't wait for that moment where everybody gets their first taste of the White Walkers, not just the crows, but like the ones that are a little further south. And they're all like, I want the Iron Throne. No, I think the Iron Throne's mine. And that fucking Night King walks in with his first frozen-ass giant. And everybody's like,
yeah. Fuck me.
We done fucked up. We were worrying about the wrong shit. So then we cut to Cersei doing Cersei shit. I think we're developing the next new guy that I'm going to hate and love to watch die. Randall Tarly. Now, did you put that together that that's Samwell's father?
Yeah. I got, oh, yeah, he's a real fucking cunt.
Yeah. Now, he's kind of all with the, now, look here, we've always been loyal to the Tyrells and this and that. And then Cersei's like, well, you don't have to keep being. And he's like, maybe I'm going to be the next big cunt that Aaron can't wait to die. Yeah. And they've set that up perfectly because of the way he treated Sam, because of the way he treated Sam's girlfriend, the whole 9 yards. You just love to hate Randall Tarly, and you know that he is going to do some like backstabby, scandalous shit to the people that we're obviously rooting for because we have a soul. He's going to turn and be on Cersei's side. That whole Tarly thing with the Tyrells is going to be like, bye-bye. And you know that the Tarleys are going to be like, that's the big team up right now with the Lannisters.
Oh yeah. I can see that coming, and that other the fucking Greyjoy prick, the gnarly pirate. Those will be the 2 hateful pricks. Yeah. Euron.
Yeah, Euron. You loved it. We'll get to that in a minute, but you already loved to hate that fucker, and I loved it. There's Tarly, and then so he talks to Tarly's son, and he's like, "What is it, Rickson?" And he corrects him. He's like,
Dixon.
No, it's Dixon. And he takes a beat. He's like, "Okay,
sure, Dixon it is."
All right, Dick. Cool. So right away, you still got old lady Elena Tyrell, and they're always friends with the Tarleys. Now the Tarleys are going to turn on the Tyrells, and it's never a good idea to turn your back on that old lady because she is a savage. She's got
and listen,
no granddaughter now. She's got no grandson now. She is all hell bent on revenge, and that whole thing. You'll end up Ward of the South. He's gonna die poorly. That he'll die for sure.
the old bitch knows what she's doing, though. She ended up being the as the episode would go on to prove, she was the voice of reason and the one that should have been listened to in the long run. Like, she knows how this fucking game works. Yeah, she knows how this fucking game works, and it's not the most nice or polite way to do it. And that could be Daenerys' undoing. She wants to be very much the good doer. Hey, listen, so did Jon Snow, so did Ned Stark. If Game of Thrones has taught us anything, I think that's why Game of Thrones is so likable and relatable, is because it feels very much like real life. Obviously, it's a fucking fantasy, but in that the wrong people die sometimes, and sometimes doing the right thing gets you fucking killed, and it doesn't pay off with no big beneficial payoff in some kind of way. So,
look at it traditionally throughout this entire show. Cersei has come out clean on the other side.
Been a cunt the whole time.
Yeah, every single time she comes out smelling like a rose after crawling through shit. Jaime has made it up until
he did lose a hand.
Yeah, but up until little old Tyrion got tired of his dad's shit, he got away with all sorts of shit. So you're right. If Game of Thrones have shown us anything, be a cunt all you want, because chances are you're going to survive longer than the good guy.
Yeah.
Ned Stark did absolutely everything right, except he kept that secret. As soon as he knew that brother and sister were fucking, he should have got up on the highest hill and said, "Guess what I know?" And protected himself, but he didn't do that.
Well, look at Robb Stark.
Back to the Citadel with old poor Samwell Tarly, lovable fat boy that he is, and now we got Ser Jorah Mormont, all full of grayscale, just about to go crazy. Now in the last season, Daenerys was like, "Now go cure yourself. Don't come back and whatever. Go save yourself." So now Mormont's covered with grayscale. The Grand Maester says, "No, we can't do nothing. You go have fun with the Stone Men." Now we know he's not just going to be like, all right, because do you remember when he took Tyrion through the Greystones Island?
Oh, yeah. That was a very memorable
Stone
scene.
Men, the Stone Men Island? Yeah, you don't want to end up being a Stone Man. That's like some straight up Game of Thrones zombie shit.
Yeah. That was scary.
Do we want to talk about the way that Samwell is like becoming this low-key rebel?
Yeah, that's interesting. I find it interesting that they're actually giving him like kind of a relevant, important role, even though he's kind of cast away at the Citadel. He's discovered where the fucking massive amount of dragon glass is, and in the grand scheme of things, that could very well be the most important fucking fact of the whole goddamn show. And Sam's cool too, because he's always, the whole series, obviously he's been like a fat pussy, but he's always kept his nose in these books, man. And he's always looking. I bet you he cures it. If anybody can cure that prick, it's him, with the fucking blades, reading right out of the book, doing it right fucking there on the spot.
No, that's what I'm saying. Samwell the whole time, like you said, fat pussy the whole time, can't fight, can't run, cowers in the face of danger. All of a sudden he's at the Citadel and they're like, "Look, fat boy, you can't read these books." He's like, "No? Well, I'm going to sneak in and read these books."
Yeah, I bet you I can.
Exactly. He got tired of cleaning up those turds on episode 1. He's like, "You can't cure this disease." "No? Well, watch this. I'm going to sneak in and fucking tear all this shit off of Marmont's body," which, oh, God. That scene right into the pot pie scene.
Brilliant. Makes me want to puke in my mouth, but I fucking it took me about 6 seconds to figure out what was going on until some hairy prick had fucking pot pie spilling down his disgusting beard, and I'm like, fuck, that was gross. But that was good.
I know, dude. That was the worst. It's like, and then you look, he's all like Freddy Krueger on his chest, and the dude is diving into a pot pie, and when he took that bite, seriously, like right about the solar plexus, I got a little spasm. I'm like, oh, man, that is visceral. That is disgusting. So, all right, before that scene, though, we end up finding that the Grand Maester that creepy little Grand Maester that Cersei has figured out the crossbow deal.
Right. Shot it right through the skull of one of those big ass dragons in the basement.
Yeah, now we've already seen that one of the dragons got hurt by regular old spears. Now you know that some of those dragons, two of them are gonna die, guaranteed.
Well, listen, let's equate this back to something that we're both big fans of and understand very well here. Martial arts, right? Now it's easy.
Yeah, dogs.
It's easy to hit a heavy bag, right? Doesn't move. You can knock the fuck out of it. But when you're in the ring and you're trying to punch somebody in the head and they're bobbing and weaving, so on one hand, it is impressive and it does bring upon the fact that they can fight. But I wasn't like, oh well, the dragons are fucked now.
No, it's a stationary target. That's a stationary target, and that skull is old as fuck, so it's
exactly dry. It's something.
But you know that thing is going to take 35 minutes to load.
Oh yeah.
Poor bastard. There's going to be some extra doing that handle while they're just getting dragon fire across their fucking faces. It's going to be an epic battle. So okay, here we go. Now on to some more fun stuff. The Greyjoys plus Daenerys Targaryen plus the Tyrells plus Oberyn's girlfriend. Yep. They're all colluding, okay? So Lady Tyrell is like, you need to be a dragon. Oberyn's girlfriend, which I think is Alaris, she ends up on the Greyjoys' boats, which is the end of the show. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But it looks like you were talking about the A-team. So they got Varys, they got the Greyjoys, which I'm telling you what, if you got Reek on your team, weak link.
Yeah, well, we will get to that traitorous cocksucker in a minute, pulling a Leo DiCaprio at the fucking end there. That was some horse shit right there, if I've ever smelled it.
I'm fucking telling you, dude, they should have killed him. But anyways, they go ahead. So now Dorne and the Tyrells were sent because they want the Westerosis to attack King's Landing, and the Unsullieds are going to go to Casterly Rock. So it's the foreigners taking on Casterly Rock. It's the Westerosis taking King's Landing. But that shit didn't go worth the shit. But before we talk about that epic battle, Grey Worm gets some pussy.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, first off, let me just say that, look, you already know how I get down. And everybody makes this big comeuppance about Cersei or the fucking Mother of Dragons. For me personally, that fucking bitch that Greyjoy got has been the hottest broad on the show to ever disrobe. Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ. And Greyjoy so deserves it. Got his fucking balls cut.
No, not Greyjoy. Not Greyjoy. Grey Worm.
Grey Worm. My bad. All these fucking, yeah, exactly. Grey Worm. He deserves it, man. Fucking balls cut. Unsullied. Been a hardcore fucking animal his whole life. Finally, he gets some trim before battle. What a great fucking scene. And fucking good on Grey Worm. He fucking deserved it.
Yeah, now it does answer a question. Because a long time ago, Danny and Missandei were wondering, did they just get the oranges cut off or is the banana gone too? Now, Greyjoy went downstairs with the quickness.
That's true.
Grey Worm. Grey Worm kissed his way downstairs with the quickness. So I'm thinking he's in the same boat as Varys. He's got nothing.
Yeah. So quick question, and if anybody happens to be watching this and they know, or if you know, Dr. Feelgood, if you get your fucking berries cut, does the twig still get hard?
It shouldn't, but there's dragons in this show, so...
Yeah, right. All kinds of fucking... Surely they got some Viagra if that's the case.
Right, but yeah, I'm sure there's some salve or some potion at the Citadel that he could rub on his shit, but...
Either way, even putting the muff diver on her had to be the best experience of his fucking life.
Sorry about the belches, but I'm about 2 ghosts into this show, and it's over with. But I was going to say, that's just it, man. He knew, but okay, the other thing, though, is a little bit weird. First off, the hygiene issue. We've talked about this. That boy is brave. The Unsullied, they're already brave as hell. He talked about how brave he was. They didn't take a shower, a horse bath, nothing, and he kissed his way right down and right down to Missandei's bush.
Oh, yeah.
More power to you. But I think because he did that, that answers the question. He's a Ken doll. He's got nothing, but good on you. That finally happened.
Yep.
So
Powerful scene.
then we have the Arya Stark gross pie fat boy thing. That fat boy keeps getting thrown back into the mix over and over and over again. But
lucky fat
in
prick.
the last season, Arya says, I'm going to King's Landing to kill Cersei because I can't go home. There's no Winterfell. The fat boy, Chef Boyardee over here, was like, no, Battle of the Bastards. You know, Jon Snow won. Bolton's gone. Battle of the Bastards. Go back to Winterfell. So that's going to change Arya's thing. So we might actually end up with Arya, Sansa, and Jon back together. About half the kids put back together. And then there was the pivotal wolf scene, the dire wolf scene. I swear to God, for a half a second, I thought Arya was dead.
Yeah, I did too. Well, you know what I noticed about that scene, man? They always kind of talk. What I loved about that scene, you know, dire wolves are big, and you've seen that they're big. They've been, kind of prominent throughout the whole series. But I don't know, man. Just tonight, having all those other wolves around, and then having that big cocksucker come walk out on that fucking rock like that, the size of it really fucking got through to me in that scene. Like, son of a bitch. It's like 5 times. It's not like 1 or 2. It's like fucking 6 or 7 times the size of those other little cocksuckers.
Yeah, it's huge. Then when she was like, oh, hey, it's me. I'm going to the north. I just had that premonition, because they do that in Game of Thrones where you're like, don't get too close. Don't get too close because, yeah. And I'm like, holy shit. She's going to be the first main character to bite it. That isn't the way that it went down, but at least the wolf left her alone.
I thought something. I was watching it with Gary, and I'm like, man, something bad's about to happen. Too much good shit's been going on. That's not how the Game of Thrones gets down. I'm like, fuck. Arya's not. There's no way she's going to make it back to Winterfell. Her and Sansa are going to hug it out. Then I see all them wolves, and I was like, oh, shit, this is interesting. I thought for sure something bad was going to happen, though. So that was kind of cool. Dodged the bullet.
All right. So at last chronologically, we have the battle. So we've got Elyaris messing around with Yara downstairs with Theon watching. Like they're going to have some sort of weird... it was hot, but I mean, for Theon, he's already got the eye twitch, and he's like, I'm
fucking
weak.
sister, he's missing his cock and shit.
Right, because he's already finger banged his sister. He's fucking broken. Theon is so broken at this point, right? So Elyaris is just about to get down. Bang. Uncle Euron shows up.
Like a bat out of hell, too, should I say.
And I swear to God, you know that this is the guy that you're going to love to hate. It's going to be Euron. And then, what's his name? Tarly. Randall Tarly and Euron are going to be the guys that we hate. Right away, when those two sisters, when Elyaris' daughters start whipping at him and this and that, I'm like, nope, there we go. There's our first kills.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh,
sure
yeah.
As hell, oh, yeah. Sure as hell. Hurts him a little bit. Brutal kill. Hangs him out to dry. The Iron Islanders go downstairs, get Elyaris and the hot little daughter, whatever her name is, the one that Tyrion sellsword was all into that got poisoned. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
And she's like, just get it over with. Just kill us. And he's like,
nope.
There's going to be all sorts of rape. All sorts of rape going on.
You're my way in, cunt.
Yeah. No, that's going to be the rapiest rape that has ever been raped. It's going to be terrible.
What I felt bad for in that. What's I want to call him Theon, but fuck that. I'm calling him Reek. What's Reek's sister's name?
Yara.
Has anybody had a worse 10 minutes than Yara? She goes from thinking they're the fucking king of the world, getting her little fucking clit tickled by a hot broad, to kaboom, bitch. The party's over, and fucking Uncle Shitface is coming fucking flying down off a, I don't know what the fuck that thing was, but he came down like, surprise, motherfuckers, Uncle's home.
Yeah.
And fucking completely bamboozled him.
Yeah, no, he jumps in like Errol Flynn, blah, blah, and we knew that he was going to be this badass, and he's kicking ass, and he's got that axe.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, all right, come and get her. And you see Theon's eyes.
Yeah.
My name's Reek. I'm Reek. And he just jumps.
No, yeah, when you see it, like, yeah, so, yeah, he puts the axe to the fucking sister's throat, Theon grabs his fucking sword, or Reek grabs his sword, and then he just takes a peek around. He sees fucking ears getting cut, tongues getting cut. He has a flashback and just totally pusses out, pulls a fucking Leo DiCaprio, jumps off the Titanic, and just fucking wades there. What a fucking bitch. Way to bitch out again, Reek.
Dude, think about it. With the ears being cut off and the tooth being pulled out, you know what he's seeing. He's seeing that fucking Ramsay Bolton with that sausage.
Oh, yeah. I know. His prized possession, his big deck that got cut off a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
exactly.
I but it's like,
his eye starts a twitching, and we're left with him floating like a fucking Cheerio in milk, watching his fucking sister and uncle go away.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I don't think I would have fared well in those days. I'm not really that much of a badass. But at a certain point, fuck it, kill me now. You know what I mean? I've got no fucking cock. I've got no fucking nothing. You've got my one fucking person that actually gives two shits about me. Fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and die here on this boat. I mean, what the fuck's he going to do now? Wait to get fucking ate by sharks? Fucking whatever creatures loom around in the fucking Game of Thrones black saltwater seas?
I'll tell you what, man, no matter what happens in this show, and we're going to go on to predictions here in 1 second, whatever happens on the show, Reek / Theon Greyjoy will go down in history as the worst treated character of Game of Thrones. That poor bastard has been through everything but rape. That's the only thing that hasn't happened to him, and the show is not over yet.
Yeah, the night is still young.
All right, so quick predictions, because we're almost at a half hour already just breaking down the show. How do you think the meeting between Jon and Dany goes down?
Jesus fucking Christ. I have no idea. Like you mentioned earlier, I think Jon Snow's just going to be on some other shit, and I think that's probably going to surprise Daenerys. I really don't know how she's going to take that news. I know that she's probably not going to give too much of a shit, right? She's been living her whole life for the moment that's at hand. I highly doubt she's going to be like, okay, true, well, let me fucking just join you in the battle of that. So, I don't know, man. I can maybe foresee something where she goes, because you've also got Tyrion, right? And has Tyrion seen a White Walker? I know he believes, and I know he will trust and back Jon Snow's word up. So you're going to have this conundrum where I think that Daenerys will believe Jon Snow, but she can't. They're not. Her whole fucking tribe's not going to buy this bullshit. So maybe
I know that Tyrion's seen something, because a couple seasons back, his sister was making fun of him about grumpkins and all this kind of stuff. He came back from the wall and he's like, I believe in all this shit because I saw something. She's like, oh, grumpkins and goblins. And he's like,
yeah.
This is what I think.
I think he's seen it. And I think that Daenerys may try to, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. You help me get what I want. And then if you're right, the whole fucking Westeros will fight these cocksuckers together with my dragons.
Yeah. See, I think what's going to happen is she's going to very much present herself as queen and be like, you need to bend the knee. If you're going to talk to me, I'm the chain breaker. I'm this and that. And he's going to be like, look, dumbass, I don't care about that fucking Iron Throne. I don't care about being king of the North. I care that your fucking castle sits on my weapons and your dragons breathe fire. The two things I need to kill White Walkers. That's all I care about. And if I can't get you to believe in some White Walkers, you are useless to me, because I don't give a shit about that melted pile of swords.
Now, but at what point does Jon Snow realize that being said, he does kind of need her dragons, and he needs that pile of fucking metal under her kingdom? So at some point does Jon Snow think, all right, boys, saddle up. We got to fucking join forces with this broad because A, we need her dragons and we need her permission to mine this fucking dragon, this dragon glass, which we're inevitably going to fucking need.
No, absolutely, because Jon was the one who realized they needed the wild people.
Right, exactly.
He's always been the diplomat. He's always been the guy who is strategizing and making more sense. So I think that's going to be his plea. Hey, We need this. And I think that's going to be the big crux of the next episode is that meeting. So
Right.
before we wrap this up, predictions. We were way off on who's going to die. Both of our horses had moments. My horse was actually being choked after talking about a man's sister and mother. I didn't. When John was like, "You're not supposed to be here," and now don't talk to my fucking sister. And then you see Baelish. As soon as John leaves, he's like, there's Sansa right there. Just, can't wait. Just a dirty bastard. Can't help himself. So I thought my horse was gone. First part of the episode, I thought maybe your guy was going to get toasted. So it looks like we predicted last week, they're going to start slow. So is there another like subset of characters that you think are going to go first?
No, I don't think so. With what happened at the end of this episode, I think we might have got a taste of it. I don't think that we'll see any main characters go in the next episode. But what the fuck? It's so hard to tell with the Game of Thrones, man. I mean, I'm with you. For a brief moment there, I thought they were going to kill Arya and feed her to the wolves. That's what makes the Game of Thrones so interesting, is that they might have just done it just to fucking do it. So I don't think so, but nothing would fucking surprise me, man.
All right, so before we completely wrap this up, I want your expert opinion. How does Reek get out of the water? What happens?
Fuck. You know, I was honestly wondering that when the episode ended. I'm like, okay, how's he get out of this? I mean, any survivors around hate him. They just seen him abandon their queen. The other people definitely want him dead. He's in the middle of the fucking Black Salt Sea. Does he die? Does he finally just get eaten by the fucking sharks? I don't know. What do you got? How the fuck does he get out of this one? Mission Impossible.
No, because there's gonna be the redemption of Reek. You watch, because we saw him break in the pivotal moment. I think he takes out his uncle. Ultimately, I think there's gonna be a showdown between Euron and Theon, and Theon's eye finally doesn't twitch. Euron's like, "Come on, you cockless coward," and he's like, "That's it. I've had enough."
Really?
And he fucking blows his shit nerd rage style and chops his fucking uncle into octopus food. That's what I think is gonna happen.
That's a gutsy call. So you're calling for the redemption of Theon Greyjoy, that he actually gets it together.
Here's what I think. I think during his redemption, he dies. He's mortally wounded. Something. Because Theon's gonna die. Absolutely. Reek doesn't get to live. For sure. He's a dirty prick. No. But in that, my prediction is eventually Theon takes out his uncle in a pivotal moment where his uncle talks one too many lines of bullshit. You cockless fucker, you dirty coward, this and that. And Theon's finally like, no, that's it. I've had enough. And he takes out his uncle. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's my prediction. Theon takes out Euron.
Well, I hope the fucking cockless little prick just drowns out there. I'm tired of him. Fuck him, man. That's enough of that bullshit.
It's easy to hate old Theon. All right. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
No, I think we were well prepared tonight, man. You got the notes. We did the whole fucking breakdown. We didn't miss shit this time, like fucking Ed Sheeran's little goofy ginger ash being in the first one.
I didn't miss that last week. I noticed that was Ed Sheeran.
No, I know, but we didn't mention it on the show afterwards. I forgot all about it. I'm like, fuck. And then that great meme was up with the fucking that crazy wildling and the big broad that protects fucking Sansa.
Let me tell you what, having Ed Sheeran make a cameo appearance means fucking 0 point shit to me. I was hoping that he was going to get it in the neck, and somebody was going to kill him. Then I'd have been like, right. That's because I'll tell you, if they were ever like, hey, there's a contest to win a walk-on Game of Thrones, I would want to die horrifically. If you're going to bring me on the show, at least Game of Thrones me right the fuck off the show.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. But he is Ed Sheeran, so you got to let him sing like a caged bird.
I suppose. All right, so we're going to do this once a week. We had a few viewers. I think we got, I don't know, whatever we got, a few views on it. Like I said, we can be interactive. We've got at Kirby_MMA. Is that right?
Yep. Nailed it.
And I'm at Doc_Robbins MMA on Twitter. If you guys want to interact with us, have us talk about things, watch the show right after the show. Hit us up on Twitter, ask us questions. Fred always has his social media going. And then other than that, honestly, this is for the edification of me and one of my buddies. That's the only reason why we're doing the show. So if you watch, great. If you don't, great, because we like to talk about the show. So tune in next week. I'll come up with some stupid little kitschy name for the episode. And like I said, hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions or if we missed anything or if you want to throw us some theories. And other than that, thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.